They warned you about monsters in bedtime stories, but they never warned you about the monsters who smile at you in daylight. They told you monsters hide in the shadows. They told you demons creep only in nightmares. But they forgot to mention the ones that shake your hand, call you friend, and stand right beside you while slowly tearing you apart. You see, the most dangerous monsters aren't born in darkness. They're created by this world, polished with sweet words, sharpened with betrayal, dressed in familiar faces. They don't grow claws. They grow intentions. They don't roar. They whisper. And you walk among them every single day, at work, at home, in circles you call trust. You think you're safe because you see no teeth, no blood, no horror. But monsters don't hunt with fangs. They hunt with secrets, with silence, with smiles. Some monsters don't want to kill you. They want to watch you fall. Some don't stab your back. They let you walk blindly into the knife. And the worst kind? The kind that pretend to care. They clap for you when you win, but pray for your exhaustion. They hug you when you cry, only to taste your weakness. But here's the real twist. The world will never warn you about them because they are the world. So tonight, I'm not here to tell you how to find the light number. I'm here to show you how to walk through the dark, to recognize the beasts disguised as people, and to awaken a new truth inside you. When you're surrounded by monsters, you don't pray for angels. You become something they fear. This is not a speech of comfort. This is a message of awakening. There will be no heroes here. No hope, no mercy. Only survival, only transformation. Because until now, you believed the world was fair. Until now, you believed that loyalty meant safety. But let me tell you a secret. The closer they stand, the deeper they can cut. And some of you have already been bleeding. You trusted, you loved, you opened doors, and in return, you were betrayed, replaced, forgotten. Good. Pain is the first proof that you are awake. Now, it's time to see clearly, to face the monsters around you, and then to meet the one inside you. Look closely. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Not everyone who claps for you wants to see you rise. Some stand beside you, not to support you, but to study you, to learn your weaknesses, to memorize your fears, to wait patiently for the perfect moment to strike. You call them friends, you call them family, you call them trusted ones. But behind closed doors, they wear a different face. They speak your name with poison on their tongue. Some monsters don't attack you openly. They're smarter than that. They don't destroy you with violence. They destroy you with doubt. They say things like, "Are you sure you're good enough? Maybe this isn't meant for you." They pretend to protect you, but in truth, they're limiting you. Understand this. Not every cage is made of iron. Some cages are made of opinions, advice, and love. Then there are those who act kind. Oh, the sweetest kind. The sympathizers, the listeners, they'll wipe your tears so they can collect them. They'll promise they'll never leave until you truly need them. Have you met them? The ones who vanish when you fall. The ones who grow silent when you win? Yes. They were never with you. You were just useful. Society itself is a circus of masks. Everyone wants something. Attention, validation, control. They don't see you. They see a role they need you to play. Be the good child. Be the loyal friend. Be the obedient worker. Be whatever keeps them comfortable. But the moment you break their expectations, the moment you choose yourself, they turn. They call you selfish, cold, changed. They say, "You've become different." But what they really mean is, you're no longer under our control. So ask yourself, who are these people around me? Friends? Or watchers? Supporters? Or collectors of my failures? Because here's the truth they never tell you. People don't leave you when you're weak. They leave you when you start to become strong. When you had nothing, they stayed. When you dreamed bigger, they doubted. And when you began to build, they disappeared. Not everyone hates you for your pain. Some hate you for your healing. You see, monsters are not born from hate. They're born from envy. They don't want what you have. They want you to lose what you're becoming. They don't attack your body. They attack your spirit, mocking your dreams, laughing at your ambition, feeding your fears, until you willingly shrink. That's how monsters win. Not by killing you, but by making you kill your own potential. And while you're busy explaining yourself, while you're trying to prove your worth, they're feeding off your energy, stealing your fire, starving your will. So tell me, why are you still begging for their approval? Why are you still offering your loyalty to those who've already chosen your failure? Wake up. Stop expecting honesty from people who lie to themselves. Stop expecting loyalty from hearts that envy. Stop expecting peace from those who profit from your chaos. Because remember, monsters don't always want to destroy you. Some just want to keep you from realizing you never needed them. But there's one more truth. A darker one. One you've been avoiding. The monsters around you, yes, they're real. But the most powerful monster you'll ever face is the one you refuse to become. You see, the world wants you soft, obedient, harmless. They love the version of you that doubts. They adore the version that apologizes. They admire the version that suffers quietly, but becomes silent in power, and suddenly you are changed. Cold. Dangerous. Good. Let them call you a monster, because only monsters survive in a world full of predators. There is a monster inside you, not born from hatred, but born from every time you were betrayed and stayed silent. Every time you were doubted and kept going. Every time you were broken and rebuilt alone. They think you are quiet because you have nothing to say. But one day, they will realize you were quiet because you no longer had anything to prove. Let me tell you something. They'll never teach you. The strongest people are not those who avoid darkness. They are the ones who walked through it and learned to command it. People say, don't lose your heart. But what they don't understand is, you didn't lose your heart. You forged it from fire, from loneliness, from disappointment. Remember this. Monsters are not born when you are hurt. They are born when you finally decide. No more. They tried to break you with betrayal. They tried to tame you with doubt. But here, you stand, not healed, not pure, transformed. You are no longer the one who fears monsters. You are the one who learned from them. You watched how they hide, how they attack, how they destroy. And you chose a different path. Not to become cruel, but to become untouchable. Understand this final truth. The greatest monster is not the one who harms others, but the one who will never again allow others to harm them. You don't need revenge. Your silence will haunt them. You don't need validation. Your success will punish them. You don't need to expose them. Their guilt will do that for you. From now on, stop explaining your pain. Stop announcing your plans. Move in shadows. Build in silence. Let your presence speak what your voice never will. Because monsters fear one thing more than fire. A soul that no longer fears them. And to those who betrayed you, abandoned you, doubted you, do not hate them. They played their role. They revealed the truth. They showed you exactly what you must never become. Now listen closely. You weren't abandoned. You were redirected. You weren't broken. You were awakened. You weren't destroyed. You were reborn. They wanted to meet the old you. But that person is gone. What walks now is something they can never control again. You are not the victim of monsters. You are the consequence. So now, yourself? Will you keep running from monsters? Or will you finally become the storm they never saw coming? Don't just listen to these words. Act. Cut the ropes. Silence the noise. Walk away from those who secretly wait for your fall. Build yourself in shadows. And return only when your presence shakes their comfort. Because this world does not remember the gentle. It remembers the relentless. So don't promise you'll change. Prove it. Don't tell them you're coming back. Return so powerful, they question if it's even you. If you're ready, stop watching monsters. Become the reckoning.